you came to my attention via another television producer. He told me what you were doing. I was very intrigued. I looked up the documentary. I watched it a couple of weeks ago, and then this article came out a couple of weeks ago in the LA Weekly about the Coastline Commission. So this idea of this misappropriation of public land and public resources, that's what this is all about generally, right?
Yeah. It was not the first idea I had in my mind when I started this film, in truth, but it was what I discovered right, 2 steps in the door. This is what I found out. I originally came to this topic, I had been researching urban farmers in Oakland. Areas in Oakland, there are areas that are like 8 square miles, 20,000 residents, 0 grocery stores. And people in these communities had started little pocket farms and abandoned lots and whatnot. And they were, growing the food for themselves, first of all, and then distributing it to their neighbors. And that sort of took off as a movement. And I was interested in doing something about that in a film or a TV show. And then the Occupy movement happened. Mm-hmm. I was in front of Oakland City Hall, and I saw some of the people running the kitchen at Occupy Oakland were the same people I'd met who are the farmers in West Oakland. I thought, these people and those people, they're going to get together at some point because land is scarce, and that will make a great movie. I wait 6 months, and sure enough, I get a text. These people, 200 urban farmers, are marching down San Pablo to a piece of public land, and they're carrying with them 15,000 seedlings. They crack the padlock off the gate, march in, clear 2 acres, and start planting the food. And so when I heard about this, called up some friends. They went over there right away. I got there as soon as possible, and then just followed it as a story. And then it turns out that the land that they had occupied was a publicly owned research farm owned by the University of California, and it had been a research farm for the last 80 years, and they were planting crops on this land in order to save the land from becoming a real estate development. So then I realized, this is about people saving a public resource for the purpose of farming when it had only been a farm, and it was surrounded by an urban area, and without this research farm, this research farm had given its location, could really play an interesting and critical role, in the state of our economy and the state of our environment right now. So it was a really fascinating story, and then I started thinking about all the public resources that are being poached by private interests for, private gain.